Namaste. Welcome to this mindful yoga practice for the core. Starting in Dandasana, find long legs and a long spine. Go ahead and stretch it out before finding your foundation of sits bones to feet. You can make a bend in your knee just to get the torso upright. Keep the feet at attention, so toes pointed towards the ceiling, and then start to tune in with the breath. Each inhale makes expansion, lift, and structure, and each exhale allows the muscles to contract as the breath comes back out. So we'll use the breath and the core engagement to guide our movements as we link movement with breath in row the boat, pelvic and shoulder to and fro movements. Inhale as we up and out with the hands. Exhale down and back. So keep the breath linking with the movement. Try to be consistent with the arm motion, hands moving with the shoulders and in line with the pelvis. Stay consistent with your ujjayi breath, that you hear the sound on each inhale and exhale through your nose. We're only going to do about 6 or 7 of each in repetition. And after your next one, go ahead and pause. And now we'll exhale on the down and out. So we're switching breath and movement. Inhale on the up and back. Exhale down and out. Exhale up and back. Keep moving with this rhythm. Make sure that the toes are still pointed up towards the ceiling, activating the muscles of the legs. Keep the shoulders relaxed down away from the ears. We'll pause here and move into our next sequence, which is churning the butter, moving the legs a little bit wider for a stable foundation because the pelvis and shoulders will make rotational movements. Go ahead and inhale the arms out to one side, exhale back to center. We're staying on the same horizontal plane this time. Inhale on the way out, exhale on the way back. Stay with that ujjayi breath, leading with the solar plexus, not the arms or the shoulders or the head. And now we pause so that we can change the breath and the motion. Exhale on the way out, inhale on the way back, opposite direction. Exhale out, inhale back. Notice how this changes the engagement of the core, maybe even the sensation of the movements. Feeling long up the spine, stretching from the tailbone through the crown of the head with this simple but strong movement of the pelvis and shoulders. Then pause. Then stay with the breath as you move the feet, not quite to your limit, but a nice wide stretch for Gingerbread Man Calisthenics. The shoulder stays in line with the torso as we first inhale the left hand to the right, towards the right foot. Exhale back to center, and then opposite. Inhale, right hand towards left foot. Exhale back to center. We'll keep doing this for about 6 rounds. Try not to lead with the hand, but to lead with the entire torso. This is really a nice twist, working with the breath. Inhale and reach. Exhale, rise to center. And now pause and switch the breath. Exhale, left hand to right foot. Inhale, rise up through center. Exhale, right hand to left foot. Inhale, rise through center. Keep going, stay stable from the sits bones out towards the heels. There shouldn't be much movement in the legs at all, just enough to hold you in place. And so come back to center and pause. Relax the shoulders and hips. Bring the feet together, the knees in towards the chest for a little counter pose. Stretching your torso up towards your thighs. Make the spine long, stretch through the back of the neck. Take a couple of breaths. Find a little restoration. And now we prepare for coming into a squat. And so I have a rolled blanket to put under my heels in case your heels don't touch the mat or the floor. If you don't need a blanket or a lift, then that's fine. But it's nice to have the whole foot in contact with the mat for support and for a foundation. So I'm actually moving forward to get my head into the camera as well. Take your time, find a support that's right for you, and try to get the elbows in between the knees with prayer hands held to heart center. For squat dives, we inhale to a count of 4, exhale to a count of 4, diving over the knees, and hold out in this position. Hold the breath out to a count of 4, and then return. Inhale to a count of 4, exhale, dive to a count of 4, hold out for a count of 4, come back, 2, 3, 4, exhale, dive, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale back to center, 2, 3, 4. And so you can do this in your own pace, but try to stay consistent once you found it. And again, we're doing about 6 repetitions, feeling a real stretch along the spine that comes naturally as you dive over the knees. And so this was our last one. We put our hands on the floor about shoulder width apart for frog lifts. Same count. We're going to inhale and lift our hips, stretching through the hamstrings. Exhale back down into a squat. These frog lifts lengthen our spine, our hamstrings on the inhale, and exhale, find us in a squat. Really good for loosening up energy in the hips and lengthening through the spine. It's also a nice inversion. So also, don't worry if your hamstrings don't lengthen all the way. You can keep a nice bend in your knees. And now we pause, prepare to come onto your back. Use any props you need or move ones that you don't. And as you come onto your spine, let your knees stay bent, feet on the floor. We'll spend a few breaths in constructive rest. Feet are hip width apart. Feel the sacrum and the shoulder blades reaching, melting down towards the floor. See if you can allow the muscles to relax on the bone. Let your breath be even. Let the heart rate come back to normal. For the next sequence, shoot the moon. The feet come up towards the ceiling. Keep a gentle bend in the knees. Keep the feet flexed, toes pointed towards you. This is our baseline position with the torso relaxed on the floor, feet up in the air. With Kali Mudra, we'll be able to point the toes and reach on the exhale up towards the toes. So as we exhale, reach up, inhale back down. Now exhale out towards the right pinky toe and inhale back to center. And then exhale out to the left pinky toe, inhale back to the mat. That's one round. Exhale center, inhale back down. Exhale right pinky toe, inhale down. Exhale left pinky toe, inhale down. Try to relax on the way down. Exhale, engage the core as you lift. If you can, also lift the sacrum and the shoulders. If not, just keep your entire pelvis comfortable, alert, engaged. Toes always reaching back towards you, heels towards the ceiling. I'm using a count of 4. Inhale, 4, exhale. And we exhale in this small movement. There I am, lifting my sacrum a little bit more. To allow the abdomen to contract more as the breath leaves. Inhale and expand just a little bit. Great. And now that you're On your last one, you can bend the knees and relax. Find constructive rest one more time. Feel the heart rate return to normal. It's absolutely fine to take a rest in between sets as the body can integrate more, process more in a relaxed state than in heightened heart rate and blood pressure. And so notice the breath evenly helping the heart rate to slow back down. And we come into our final sequence, which is twist taps, still on our backs. Our arms are out to the sides with palms down, and this is for stability. Then we can bring our hips and knees into 90 degrees. And so the core is engaged to hold the legs up in this baseline position. And so we'll take an inhale as the knees come down towards the floor. First to the left is where I'm going. They don't have to quite touch the floor, but they can. And so exhale back to center, inhale to right, and exhale to center. And that's one set. So we're just going to do 3 sets with inhale the knees down, exhale the knees up, inhale the knees down, exhale the knees up. Maintain contact or very close contact with the shoulders on the floor at all times. Notice that your spine is still somewhat straight, even though it's twisting. And now we'll switch so that we can exhale the knees down and inhale them up. Again, from one side to the other, exhale down, inhale up. Stay nice and fluid with the breath and the movement. Notice the differences as you inhale one direction for a couple of sets, and then exhale in that same direction for a couple of sets. And this is okay here as our abdomen is pretty much has plenty of room to bring in oxygen in all positions. So when you're finished, you can now take a nice hug of the knees and a roll on the back before your final relaxation, which is going to be the same twist but held. So I'm bringing both knees down to the left and let them sit on the floor. And here, of course, you can take a blanket between the knees, or you can extend the top leg for weight. This is a very restorative position when held for a few breaths. Feel that nice line of prana from the right shoulder down the right side, through the right hip, and down the outside of the right leg. You can let the breath grow gentle, longer counts, or you can lose the count. Now we're going to switch, spending a breath or two at center, feeling the spine neutralize. When you're ready, you can start to make your knees over to the right. Again, take what you need just to make this sustainable for a moment in time. Feel the openness of the left side and the benefits of the twist. The support of the pose as you're held on the floor. And then when you're ready, take whatever movements that you need to stretch or wiggle the toes or fingers. You can always spend a couple of breaths on one side or the other in the fetal position before slowly making your way back up to a seated position. So thank you for joining me for this mindful yoga for the core. Namaste.